You know, there was a time when knowing someone's phone number actually meant something. But today, our phones are filled with contacts we've forgotten, conversations we'll never revisit, and people who still have access to us, even if they no longer have a place in our lives. Technology has made it easier than ever for us to reach each other. But somewhere along the way, we started confusing access with connection. So when does someone stop being a saved contact and become an unknown number? We begin this, our first conversation ever, with a realization I had about healing. I'm Akil Johnson, and both Jermaine and I are thrilled to welcome you to the Tech Side of Life.
Welcome to the Tech Side of Life, where technology meets humanity. Technology gives us the topic, humanity gives us the meaning. What we discover in between is what we're revealing. The Tech Side of Life.
Healing can only begin when you take responsibility for the role that you played in your own suffering. And so with that mindset, that thought, I was looking at different relationships that I've had and what level of satisfaction those relationships brought, or dissatisfaction, and why that was the case. And a good amount of it was because I gave people a space in my life that they didn't earn.
Gotcha.
And so I was in the process of downgrading those connections to the status that they rightfully deserve to be in, based off of the nature of the communication that I was having with them, or the lack thereof, or the effort, if the effort was mutual, and all of that. And so I was just going through my phone, contact by contact, and I ended up like 30 numbers later gone.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what that ended up being like. But as you could imagine, when you delete people and then somebody sends you a new message who's no longer
in
your phone, right? Yeah. And it's like, well, I'm not I don't know who this is, So I decided that it would be, for my own entertainment, but also to say exactly what I wanted to say to these people, so that there wouldn't be any mystery, because people they're gonna be like brand new.
Yeah.
Like, how come you delete my number? Did we have a problem? Blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, no. I wanted to create a message that said all of the things that I needed to say, so that there was no misunderstanding. There was no whatever. So I came up with this
episode.
This piece that this episode is based on, but I called it automated status connection update. And it reads as if the message that you would get when you call a number that's been disconnected.
Yes.
And so that was the setup. But do you have any thoughts before I share this with the audience?
No, I mean, let's roll with it. I agree. I look through my contact list a lot, and I'm scrolling through and I'll see it now. I'm like, who the hell is this? Right. And then it takes me a minute to think, and then I'm like, okay. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, well, why haven't I heard from this person? So why is the person still saved there? And until you brought up the whole question of contacts and saved contacts that we don't usually talk to, I didn't think to say, well, maybe I should just delete this contact out, because I know who the person is, but they haven't reached me. And I think I'm at that age where I'm tired of taking that initiative to reach out to somebody. So if you're not reaching out to me, I'm not reaching out to you. What's the person?
Exactly. And I've had some of my friends say, "Oh, I don't want to delete contacts, or I never delete contacts because I want to have the receipts, or I want to remember what the conversation history was with that person," or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But my counter to that is, just like you said, every time I come across that person in my phone, then it's it's that journey that you go on mentally. Oh, I haven't heard from them, and I wonder why I haven't heard. Then you go through that whole time. I don't want to have to do that mentally anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's the clutter of that is what I don't want to be revisiting.
Gotcha.
Right? Mentally.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't want to revisit that anymore.
Yeah.
Because why? Why is this person having real estate every time? You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be. I don't need to have the mental real estate of it.
Mm-hmm.
And my phone can benefit from that not being there in my storage.
Yeah.
So that's what it really is.
Well, listen. So let's get into it. But let me just preface by saying we want this conversation, this channel, our focus to be real, authentic. We don't want this to feel scripted.
Right.
We don't want this to feel just like it's overly prepared.
Correct.
Yes, we have a couple notes right here, talking points, but I want to make sure we keep on the realness. So in that light, I need to take a slight sip of my water.
While you do that,
I'm going to take some hello.
This.
And now that I had some hello, I'm going to have a little how you doing. Now we're going to keep this conversation going.
All right. So here we go.
Yep.
This message reads as follows. Automated connection status update, and here it goes. We're sorry. Due to prolonged inactivity on this line, the status of this connection has been temporarily downgraded. Our records indicate a recurring pattern of sporadic communication, excessive use of the phrase, "I've been busy," friendship maintenance below recommended operating levels. That one tickles me. Long periods of silence followed by random check-ins intended to preserve account status. After careful review, your contact was moved from saved contacts to unknown number. Please do not be alarmed. If this message reached you, your account has not been blocked, because some were. This means you have been granted access to a limited time opportunity to begin a new chapter rather than be permanently archived with several other connections whose memberships have since expired. Please note, receiving this grace period should not be interpreted as confirmation that the previous version of our relationship was functioning properly. It was not. Should you choose to proceed with the same communication habits that resulted in your downgrade, the system will interpret that as confirmation that the original assessment was accurate, and your profile may be moved to reset, recycle, or removed as needed status without further notice. Thank you for your interest in maintaining meaningful connection.
So let me ask you a question. Is that something that's going to be read or heard by the person that's calling you? Where does that statement?
And bam, paste.
So when somebody calls you, that's what they're going to hear, all of that?
No, what I was going to do, because most people don't call. Most of them are texting.
So
when I get that text and there's no,
you don't know who that is.
I don't know who it is. I'm gonna drop that on them.
All of that.
Yeah.
And you expect them to read it.
I have done it.
And you expect them to read it.
Well, they could do whatever they want to do.
Can I give the shortened version of that? The TLDR of that?
Go ahead.
And this comes from the late good Notorious Big.
Uh-huh.
Who the fuck is this?
Right.
It's that statement has so many questions in that one small statement. Who is this? Why are you calling me? Mm-hmm. That's where the FCK comes from. And then look at the whole statement again.
Right.
That means I don't have you saved.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't talked in a long time.
Period.
Why are you calling? All of that is summed up into that short and sweet, other than that paragraph that you read in that announcer's voice.
That's fine, because, that's what comes with me. But what I don't want is to leave any room for all of the questions that you got, because I just answered them.
Okay.
So when they're sitting through thinking about why this, why that, no, refer to what and you could take however long you want to take to read it. It's neither here nor there. I'm done with it. So
okay,
that's why I like to be thorough.
I think that's where our personalities.
Yeah,
differ.
and that's wonderful,
because
and there's gonna be a lot of that on this show, as you guys will see.
Because I think just in reading that, it's like your personality comes through as the type that will entertain that and type all that. I have a few friends that are just like that, who will give you a full synopsis of a message, and I don't have the bandwidth to type all that out in the copy and paste.
Yeah. So and I guess it's more of like we're not aligned. Because the end thing is the same, right?
Yeah.
But it's just how we get
there.
And that's great.
You're taking 285 and I'm taking 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
You going to Decatur, but you going up the top end of 285. I'm taking
I like
20
the scenic route.
straight through. Yeah, I ain't got time for it.
I do love the scenic route.
No, I ain't got time for it.
But it wasn't even finished.
There was more?
There was more. But it's a little bit more. It says, grass doesn't struggle to grow, and neither should friendship. And then I think the initial part I read, I went back and I revised it, and so it said, for quality assurance purposes, please reply with your name and a brief number of how we know each other. Due to recent database optimizations efforts, I have absolutely no idea who this is. But yeah, so I was a lot of that was for my own entertainment, and I was quite entertained by it.
It was very entertaining.
Quite entertained by it.
Because if you sent me that, I'm gonna put myself in somebody else's shoes, and yeah, let's say I haven't talked to you in months, which in this 20 plus years we've known each other. There has not been that much time between us talking.
Right.
But let's say if I'm in somebody's shoes like that, couple months we haven't talked, and you sent me that paragraph.
So let's before you say that, let me give, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because here's the context from which this would even have occurred, right?
Yeah.
I don't rush to a space like this unless I've had a previous conversation with a person, and the people that would be candidates for this message are people that I've already talked to about this. Okay. So it's not a first. It's not a first preface. I should have preface, and I'm giving to that. So this is not the first time that they would have heard some level of this conversation from me, because I don't at this stage of my life I don't cut people off that quickly. And I give people the grace that, life happens, things happen, whatever the case is. And often this is a situation where somebody is also saying to me, or have said in some shape or form in their own way, oh, I value you as a friendship, as a friend, whatever, and et cetera, but then has failed to follow up with action. So then what I would do is say, hey, I haven't heard from you, whatever the case is. Like you shared with me that you've done with people that you've had the same issues with, you have a conversation with them, or it's like, oh, I know your life happens, we all go through things, but I would love for us to be better friends, if whatever. So that has already happened, and it has already happened at least 2, 3, 4 times.
Okay, that shed a lot of light on that thing.
Yes. So by the time I get to this, the reason why I'm taking the time to say it is because I've already talked to you about this, and this is where I'm at with it. And also, I'm still giving you grace because I haven't blocked you. Because some people were blocked. Some people didn't get this message. So those people, I'm not going to do it again with. They've been blocked. So they get nothing at all. But you still get, there's still an opportunity.
Okay. So
that's why
I get it.
I took the time to say that, because there's still love there. I still want to give an open, but at the same time, I want to initiate this conversation because this is the last time I'm going to do it.
That is something I would send, but some of my friends, close friends, will say that I am very direct and blunt, almost cutthroat when I come to responses, because I don't want to I don't like beating around the bush.
Right.
And even in my 9 to 5, I'm very direct, and my people appreciate that. So I would take that story as I'm leading you in a ways, because if you're getting that message from me, people who know me, and let me step back a little bit. So in my entire life, birth to now, I can count on one hand how many people I've cut out in my life.
Okay.
And it's probably 3 in my entire life. So a message like that.
When you say cut out, you mean?
When I said I'm done talking to you, that was it. I haven't talked to them anymore.
Okay.
At all. I don't go through the whole, I'm gonna block you, delete you. I'm just, and I did communicate that we're done talking. And it was that simple. It wasn't like a whole story. We didn't give them a when, where, or why. It was, I'm done talking.
So that means that whatever happened between you and them, it had to be something that was...
Yes, and everyone who knows me, I am very, very forgiving. You can slap me today and say, I'm sorry, tomorrow we're going out for drinks.
Okay.
It's that simple. I don't hold grudges. That's what it is. I don't hold grudges. So for me to cut someone off, it is something that is just detrimental. And actually it's not 3, it's 2. Because it was a 3rd, and again, that person apologized. I'm like, boom, back in the circle.
Okay.
And it wasn't like an apology that I said, okay, I'm gonna hold this over your head for the rest of your life. That person apologized, they owned up to it, they're done. And like, boom, we're back to where we were weeks or months or however long it's been ago. So when it comes to cutting people off, that is like the death stroke for me.
Right.
Right. So I can see sending a message like that, but if I were to send that to anybody, they would know that I am reading them for filth. Period.
Right.
They're getting the Biggie line, but they're getting it in the long form.
The long form of it. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I used to be known when I was younger for cutting people off. But I've evolved to a point where I'm not as I'm more I give more grace for that, for a lot of different reasons. But mostly because it's with the understanding that everybody's journey and their growth and their sensibilities to certain things are different, right?
Yeah.
And but that doesn't mean that people shouldn't be held accountable for what they say they want, right?
Yep.
So there's that, but you know, I try to kind of make decisions in regards to that, to what fits that particular situation. So for some people, they've done enough to earn a certain amount of grace, even though the reason why we would be even having a conversation like that in the first place would be because you did something that was pretty effed up, right?
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be overlooked. At the same time, now I have to balance what the offense was or whatever it is with the contributions that you've made in my life, because I value this. I don't stop valuing it just because there was a error in judgment over here. You understand? So it's
I get it.
that has to be weighed. And so a lot of times I try to take that into acknowledgement, and also make a decision that for myself, that where I feel like I am taking care of me in that situation, because I'm not going to, and that was also something that I had to learn, like how do you take care of yourself in this situation and make sure that you still feel safe with that individual, or trust them, or to whatever extent you decide that is. All of that.
I get that.
So it's more of a balanced thought process for me at this stage in my life, and so it's not as black and white as it used to be.
Totally get it.
Yeah. And I think that also plays into the social media aspect of that too.
Yes.
Because that's a whole thing. And I know you told me about when I think when I first mentioned this to you, you had said something to me about Facebook, that you wanted to make some changes. You remember that?
Yes. 5 years ago, you could probably follow my Instagram and see what I was doing almost daily. Now, on my social media posts, you see moments in time as opposed to days. So, and it's not to discount those products, those social media products that are out there, the many that are out there. You have to discount those. It's just it helped me see that it's better interaction in person than it is to publish every single aspect of my life online.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of been the take that I've had on social media, especially Facebook. And that's why I haven't been so active on Facebook or Instagram like I will years past. It's like I said, now it's just moments in time that you capture, and things that I celebrate are what I post online now.
Yeah, I think what you're really kind of touching on is like visibility versus intimacy
And accessibility.
Yeah. And I think that's interesting because similar to you, I've been putting some distance between how I want to interact with social media. Well, I got rid of Facebook completely, but I have maintained a presence on Instagram, which I feel better about, because I feel like, just because of the nature of what Instagram is, I can keep the distance that I want to keep, and then post how I want to, and deal with it a little bit more better than Facebook. And I'm sure even if I was on Facebook, I probably would employ the same way of dealing with it. But I feel like it's easier to do it on Instagram.
I agree.
Because I think it's more tailored towards a curated type of vibe anyways, right?
Yeah.
That said, the overarching thing is I wanted to get away from this idea that life doesn't exist unless you post it.
Yes.
And some people really have that mindset.
That's
like it
where
didn't
I'm at
happen
now. Yeah.
unless it's posted. And I'm like, no.
I got a great example of that. So I went to a concert recently. Everybody's out there on their phones taking pictures. And my phone was right here, my eyes. I saw it. Boom, that's a picture. That lives in my head forever.
That part.
No one needs to know I was at this concert. Yeah. Nobody needs to know how great of a time I had, because I have it in my head. Yeah. And I can relive that memory as long as I live.
And I'm always asking, what's the point? When I see these videos that people post that they were at such and such concert, and in the video, all you're seeing is
that. Yeah.
And then you're looking at it. What's the difference between me looking at it through your phone at home?
Yeah.
If you're going to look at it through your phone while you're there.
So here's a good point. Let's wrap it back around to tech. Tech has realized that people are doing that now, and they've added a feature to the phone. Apple has added a feature to the phone. So when you're recording, now you can record both angles. You can record yourself and that you're looking at the same time.
Yeah, I saw that feature.
And I mean, what feature, but I think that's tech realizing that there's a slight shift in how people are using social media, and they're seeing everything else, but they're not seeing the person. And I think that's been a question that a lot of people have said. How can I record myself without having to have my phone up, taking the video, and then have to flip it around to see myself, and then flip it back around?
And
that's just one point.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that feature exists. However, it's probably not a feature for me. It's probably not something I will ever use.
I haven't used it yet.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I okay. Keep going down that road.
Yeah.
But to your point, there's no replacement for what I can see.
Exactly.
Because as long as you're focused on being a cameraman, you're not an
actor.
Yes.
You're the producer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you miss out on not just the experience, but what I don't think they're thinking about it from the experience of having the experience,
right? And
what the experience brings to you if you actually allow yourself to have it. Because this is not having it. This is filming it.
Yes.
Filming it and having it is a different experience from a mental standpoint. From all of the things. And so when you're and if you're not thinking about how you're looking at the the event and all of the things, and actually what you're feeling and what you're experiencing, what you're hearing, if it's a concert or if it's a whatever, and being in that moment, you missed it.
Well, so now here's another.
So you captured it.
Yeah, you captured
but you
it.
missed it.
Yeah.
At the same time.
But here's what a lot would argue, and I could potentially argue this too, is yes, I missed it. I was there. I've captured it. So if I need to relive it, because we're human, so some of us are going to unfortunately develop diseases where we can't remember things, and you can go back and relive it. Or some of us have medical conditions where we have short-term memory loss or long-term memory loss. So capturing that moment, yes, I can be like, okay, I was there. Yeah, I had my phone up. And now let's fast forward 15 years and I'm sitting there like, I don't remember nothing I did when I was younger. But then I pull up my phone like, yeah, that was me and I was there and I remember that. So it has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like two old men sitting up here saying, can you do it on my phone? I want to be there. No.
You know what? That's funny. I think it has to be a balance of the two.
It does.
Right? Where
so maybe not recording the entire show.
Correct.
Bits and pieces.
Right.
And that's what I've done that at plenty of concerts. I mean, especially Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
At Missy Elliott's concert, I probably recorded one or two songs almost in their entirety. But the rest now, I was like, I got to put this phone down, I got the bop.
Yeah. And then the other thing I think of too is, and I can't remember who this artist was, but I remember it might have been Beyonce, I'm not sure. But I remember there being a conversation about it online about the artist stopping mid-concert saying to somebody who was recording them, and they were like, she was like, put the phone down and be here with me, be here with me.
So, good you brought it up. Dave Chappelle, he actually bans cameras and phones in his comedy shows so that people can be there in the moment, and also so they're not recording his content because you're
right, because of that part
that's copyrighted.
Yeah,
that's his content. So he's protecting the people that are there, because he could very well go after people who recorded his shows and say this copyright infringement. But I think what Dave was doing is Dave is wanting people to be more present and be there.
Right. And I think this artist, whoever it was, had also said, and listen, it will be available. The concert is going to be available.
I think it was Adele.
Okay.
I think it was Adele, because Adele is another artist who
does.
She doesn't ban phones, but she will call you out, and I've seen videos where she stopped the entire show. And shout out to Adele being a live show that's not pre-recorded or lip sync. And she stops and say, let me take the picture and I put the phone away so I can finish the show. So now we're probably embarrassed because like, oh God, I got to stop.
And I think if they aren't already doing it, artists and events or whatever would more lean into, listen, come enjoy the show. We'll provide the footage for you. Yeah. And you'll have the best. It'll be a good balance because you'll be able to enjoy yourself, and then maybe you'll get lost in it, in a point where you're so lost in the experience that you're not worried about this, and then you relive it in a different way by seeing yourself being lost in the experience.
Exactly.
Because that is not something that you would have if you would have had if you were focused on recording the experience.
And there are companies out there that now are capitalizing on that because they sell the electronic bags that you lock your phone in. Like I said, going back to Dave Chappelle's show, where you put your phone in a bag, you get a claim tag, so that you can come back and get your phone. Right. But it's locked away, and they know that you don't have it on you.
And I think one of the things that we wanted to highlight is that having access to someone is not the same as having a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where people get confused.
I have another good example of that. So, like I mentioned earlier, I've had the pleasure and the opportunity in my life to work alongside and with very notable individuals. And yes, I have their personal phone numbers, or I know where they live, I know where their homes are.
Right.
but that doesn't mean to me to show up. Like, if I go to California, I'm not going to just show up at Mark Zuckerberg's door, knock on the door, and say, "Hey, you remember me?
Yeah.
Coming on in." No, it's not that. So, but because I have that access, does not mean I'm going to exploit it.
Call the police.
Yeah, and I'm sure they probably. I mean, I probably wouldn't make it on the block because that's how his security. As soon as I turn on the block, somebody stops me and say, "Who are you? Where you going?" And I just can't say I'm a Jehovah's Witness because like, well, no, that's banned on this block.
Oh my God.
But, you know, I have that accent. No, I was raised Jehovah's Witness, so I can say that.
Okay.
So
he has access.
I say that in saying that, you know, like you said, because you have the access, because you have my number stored in your phone, does not mean you can text or call.
Right.
Because Lord hope you show up at my front door at the wrong time. This is the state of Georgia, and I enjoy my Second Amendment rights.
Oh my goodness.
And my dog will bark very loud.
So I think for some people who might be watching this, they might be thinking about the difference between the two and maybe hopefully reevaluating some of their own connections.
Yeah. I will say this episode has forced me to think about that.
Yeah.
Because prior to, I was like, hey, my contact list is 3,000 people long. Have I talked to all 3,000? Absolutely not.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, you know, I was talking to my mother about some of this too. And she said, you expect a lot from people. And I said, I give a lot to people. And I said, that's the difference now is that I'm reevaluating what I give versus the mistakes that I've made in giving that to people who didn't earn what I was giving. So that's my responsibility to make that adjustment. But at the same time, the intention is not to hurt people on the other side of it by making the adjustment, if that makes sense. The intention is not to hurt them. You understand?
Yeah, I get that.
And so to approach it with the right level of the right temperament and grace and so forth, because who knows, that person might have a realization that we're having is that, you know what, I could do better. You know, I do value that connection with that person. And, you know, I've allowed whatever to distract from it. And I want more out of the connection. So I'll give more to the connection. Maybe that'll be their relationship. And if that is their relationship, that's wonderful for them. But I think the people who are sitting in the seats that you and I are in and who are making decisions about what they want their life to look like in the next chapter, it's really just, I don't want to be repeating the same stuff.
Yeah, it's all about the individual relationship that you have with individuals and how do you want to close out your day? Because we open our day one way, but how you close out that day predicts how you start the next day.
Right.
Write that down. That's damn good.
Well, it's on tape.
That's another thing I don't understand. There's no tape.
Well, you
it's
know
on
what?
A memory card. I mean, like, I have a tape of this. I have a tape. You don't have a tape. You have a memory card.
Well, you know what they mean when people of a certain age.
That's one of those things that irks me is people say that. I got it on tape. Okay. Pull the tape out. Let's see.
People of a certain age will probably use that.
We'll adapt with the time. It's time to grow up. Stop using old terminology. You don't see me say I'm gonna ride down the street and put this 8-track in my car.
Well, see, but
no, you're gonna hear me say I'm riding down the street and I got my phone streaming the music.
Hey everybody, it's Jermaine. So listen, we had a few technical difficulties, as you probably heard through the episode here, but we didn't want to re-record it. We wanted to at least get some content out there for you guys to hear and see how we interact. So do a favor, still, hit us in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the episode, what you thought about the content, what we can do better, what we can maybe change, and we're going to work on it. This is a work in progress. Tech side of life is something we've been passionate about and been working on for a while, so we're eager to get more content out to you that you can hear. But either way, let us know what you think. Hit us in the comments. Thanks for listening.
We're all connected now, but who can we call? Got 1,000 voices, still missing the point of it all. We've taught machines to listen while forgetting how to hear. Let us help